We've got an all-new camera here. One I hopefully won't, break. So the machine is all set up in my tiny little space. I would show you all that, but it's on a tripod and I don't know how to work it. My son set it up for me. I'll figure it out. I just haven't read the book. I don't know, can you see my hand? Can you see the screen at all? It has a USB symbol on the front. This little Babylock. And you push that, give it a second, and now we're going to find something. And you'll use the buttons on the actual machine to move through this. And I'm going to pick that one. And set. And make it a lot bigger so you can actually see it. So this screen shows boxes with arrows. They're pointing inward to make it smaller, outward to make it bigger. Nice and simple. This is a very small design, and I will need to test it out in its natural state, but and edit. Okay, I haven't even got my hoop ready yet. Okay, it slides in this little notch on this side, and it goes real easy. There's no pushing, no chugging. Then latch it. It's already threaded. Now this is to adjust where we want it. That's to test the whole thing. So if you want to test where it's going to stitch out at, it's fine. It's got one big hole. And then touch the embroidery button to get it to the screen for sewing. Now we lower the foot and press the start. Okay, that's all done. And then it says on the screen, finished embroidering, okay, and I say okay, goes back to that. Pop this open. That's not bad. I mean, this is a very thin fabric, and it's called mid-weight tearaway. That is not mid-weight. That is so. It's a piece of paper. I really should have used more, and I just used a spray adhesive. Put it on. Basically, the idea is that your fabric needs to be a certain depth to handle embroidery. So when you're using something lighter, you make up the difference with your stabilizers. That's the general idea. Well, it was a long time ago when I started this. Nowadays, everybody seems to have a different opinion on what stabilizer is actually for. But it is to stabilize your design so that you have no puckers. Ideally, you want no puckers. I did get a few puckers. But like I said, I was just playing. And I kind of wanted to see how this would turn out. My Etsy store is Vestra Era. I've had it for 13 years. Hadn't done a lot with it in a long time. But I was always working. I'm not anymore, so I guess I can really get it going again. But I've always wanted to make its own little logo, which hence the reason this is actually only about this big. Something that can be put on things I make, very small, or even maybe ribbon was the idea. So I made it very small, but I wanted to test it out bigger so that you could actually see it. So this is V.E. Vestra Era. Yeah, it's one of those midnight things. I know it was Latin. And one of the words stood for lady. I don't remember. My lady, your lady, something like that. Only I put it backwards because Era Vestra didn't sound as good. So I did Vestra Era, so it's lady your. I don't think there's a lot of people around here that speak Latin, so they wouldn't know I have it backwards. But it turned out real nice. The stitching smooth. It has a nice sound. And if I can get you off without too much distraction, I'm going to show you something. Now, here's a thread rack my son had gotten me for Christmas last year. It's what I asked for. Turns out in my tiny little space it doesn't fit. This is my whole embroidery space. I'd show you the room, but it's a disaster. So I rig up my threads because I have spools and they don't fit on here well. This doesn't even sit all the way up. So I always look on the machine I use for a way to thread it from a spool. And the bobbin threader has this little hole in there. So I ran the thread from there up. I've got this thing taped on. I don't know where it was supposed to go. Not very good about reading instructions. But it's taped on there. And it has the little loop for the thread to go through. So it goes through that. Comes down over. In through there. And then threaded like normal. And it works out. It goes down through there. The needle threader is different. And I did kind of fuss with it. And when I figure out the camera, I'll show more on this machine. But this is the Babylock. I don't even know how to turn on the flash on this camera. So this is the Babylocks. And it, like I said, it's just like the Brother 1600. Literally has all the same buttons. Even has a help screen. Really. Tells you how to put the thing on, how to turn it off and on, and all that kind of stuff. And out. Out. Let's go backwards. Now, this much I have figured out. You hit this button down below the return button, deletes out your thing. Bam. No back, 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 back. Now, if only I could figure that out on my FOF, I'd be set. Takes a USB. Takes PEZ. I had to download this stuff in PEZ because I had it all in VP3. And there's the switches. And just turn it off. Nice little machine. Yep. Nice little machine. Went together real easy. Doesn't take up a ton of space. This is, wow, a really old little table that my PC 8500 sat on, and it fits on here also. So it's about the same size but lighter. Okay, well, I thank you for sticking with me this long and through the mess. And bye-bye. You have a good one.